I wanted to take a minute to give you a tour of how to use the user interface of the RPG Keys V6. But first, a quick word to the wise when you're using the keys in Lightroom 3. In Lightroom 3, you need to have open the panels that you want the keyboard to access. For example, if you want to use the keyboard to move the exposure slider needs to be visible. So you can't have this whole right-hand panel closed, and you can't have, for example, the basic panel collapsed. So just keep that in mind. The other thing is the RPG V6 software gives you shortcuts to up to 100 of your most used and most loved Lightroom presets. And similarly, they need to be, the presets on the left-hand side here in the Develop module need to be expanded. And there are some other rules here about it, but you just go ahead and expand those preset folders and your RPG keys will be very happy. Okay, so here we are in the RPG keys. This video is, the content is the same whether you're using the RPG Mini or you're using the full 58 key RPG key. The first thing is, you probably have already found the import and export layouts. If you've got multiple RPG keys in your office and you want them all to be set up the same way, go ahead and use the export layout tool right here and export that file to a USB drive, and then go and plug that USB drive into another computer and you can import it. If the import isn't 100% perfect, just go ahead and do it twice. Sometimes users have found that they need to go ahead and run the import tool twice to get the layout just the way it's supposed to be. And again, those files are plist files. So in the bottom, top right here, you've got an application menu. So this is a menu that tells you which software you're currently supporting with your RPG keys. So if we select, for example, Lightroom 3, and then if we click on any of the buttons, on the bottom left-hand corner, it's going to show us what those buttons are currently assigned to do within Lightroom 3. If I was to go up here and click on Bridge CS5 and click on that same #1 button, it's going to show me that it's unassigned. So the first thing you do when you're working with our user interface is you go ahead and you click on the application that you want to want the keys to be talking to. That's that. You can also add applications to the application menu by dragging the application onto this menu and letting go. Okay, so what's new in V6 is a lot. The first thing you're going to notice in the function menu is that you can now program button clicks. One click, middle click, right click, double click, fifth click, fourth click. So you can put a mouse click on any key you want. You can also put a keystroke. So if we click on key 4 here, which is currently right now in Lightroom, it's set up to do paste last and sync and a preset. But if we wanted to do a keystroke, we would click right here to keystroke, and I don't know, we would do maybe, I think Command Control R is the reset crop shortcut, but I actually don't know that for certain. But so now this key is going to do the shortcut for Command Control R. Now there's 3 spots on every key. There's the first spot, there's the option 2 and option 3 spot. So if I click on option 2 here, now I can put a different shortcut on this key, maybe Shift 7. And if I click on option 3, I can probably do another, one. I could do maybe Shift 8. So this key is now programmed to do 3 different keyboard shortcuts utilizing the option 2 and option 3 keys. Moving on. You can also do a modifier key, and there's a set of directions that you need to read, but you can put a shift key on here. So you could go ahead and turn this 8 key into a shift key. And the way you do that is you need to do it twice. You see key down and key up. So we're going to do shift key down, then we're going to go back, click on key up, and we're going to do shift key up. So that key now does shift. Okay, and that's again just from reading these directions here. Last thing moving forward here, one of the last things is the open and run. If you've got your own macros that you've saved, you can, for Lightroom or for any software, you can go ahead and click on them and open and run them using the keyboard. And then the big nugget, the really exciting thing is the RPG functions. Now, the RPG keys have, at the moment, over 2,000 custom functions. If you want to put exposure, for example, on key 12, you would just search for the word exposure. And you'll see exposure down 001 all the way up to exposure down 020. The idea here is that the number is an indicator of the strength. So you've also got exposure up. So I'm going to program this key to do exposure up 5, which is about what we use in our business. And I'm also going to do exposure down 5. Okay? And so in the bottom left-hand part of the screen, you'll see exposure up, actually 3, and exposure down 5. Let's see here, we got to redo that. Up. Okay. So that's how you set the sensitivity of the keys on the RPG key. Now, if you want to do a preset, let's say we wanted to just do key number 1 and we want to do 3 presets in Lightroom. So we're going to do a search for preset 001. So we've got preset 001. I'm going to do the same thing on the option 2 key, but I'm going to do number 2. And then number 3, we're going to do preset number 3. Oh, clear this key. So that's a good move. I just goofed up. If you want to start over, just click clear this key. And I made the mistake, which you should just learn from my mistake here, is I had it stuck in key down, but you always want the default to be, excuse me, I had it stuck in key up. You want it to be key down, okay? So there's that, key down, and we're going to do preset 1. Now we're going to do preset 2 as the second function and preset 3 as the third function. And at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see these little buttons that say LR Pref. Just click LR Pref, and this window is going to open. And you've got 3 different types of gradients, or 3 different types of presets. You've got gradient presets, adjustment brush presets, and develop presets. The most common of which is develop. And if you go ahead and click on this, it will find all of the presets on your computer, and you click it, and then that key does that function. And again, in Lightroom, those presets in the develop module, those folders need to be open. Okay, so if we click on a different key and come back, it's going to show us the settings that we just selected. And that's how to set up your presets for RPG keys. Okay, that's a quick tour. Everybody who is part of the subscription system will get more and free RPG functions each month as part of the club. And if you need help, look for me on Skype at RPG Keys.